Hi, welcome to my channel. This is The Rusted Willow and my name is Tammy. Today I am bringing you some fall and Halloween DIY ideas. So let's get started. All right, on this first DIY, I have these two blanks that look like shiplap signs from Dollar Tree. And I am using the chalkboard black paint and I just watered it down to make a paint wash. And on this one, we are going to paint wash the back of the board in black, and the other one we're going to leave white. I am using a small paintbrush so that I can get down into the grooves of the back so that it's darker in those grooves where it looks like shiplap. And now these skeletons I had already cut out with my laser, a few months ago when I made my husband a pen holder for his desk. These were just left over. But you can find skulls at Dollar Tree, Walmart, Michael's, Etsy, anywhere that they sell cutouts, wood cutouts, you can find skulls. Now I also painted the beads on both of these wood blanks, and I painted the outside frame of the other board in black and left the back of it white. And we're going to just make that black and white. I got these corner pieces from Temu. They were super cheap. I don't know how much they were, but I will look them up for you. And I believe there was 50 in this box. I got 2 boxes. I want to say they were like $1, maybe 99 cents. I don't know. They're really thin, but they really add that little pop of elegance to these signs, and I just love them. So now on the other skull, it had a sugar skull design on it. So I took my Sharpie markers and I colored it in, and then I decided that I didn't like. I went over it with a paint wash in black, and then I went over it with Waverly plaster, also watered down, and you'll see how that looks here in a minute. So I'm just adding the corner pieces, which I thought I already glued those on. I love how this looks. My husband saw this the other night and he's like, oh wow, I like those. So now he wants them. So now I'm just using my heat gun to get rid of all the little hot glue strings and get that cleaned up. Now here is the sugar skull, and I went over it with the paint wash in black, and then I lightly went over it with the plaster, and I made it look a little ombre, like it's smoky. Now you can't really see it that well, but the red and the purple really come through, and it looks amazing in person. Today is the Fall and Halloween collab with my friends on YouTube. Liyana from Liyana DIY is the host. Our guest host this month is Brenda from Monner's Market. I also am joined by Emily from Farm Charm Chic, Amber from DIY with Amber, and Lori from Lori Bly DIY. I will have their channels as well as the playlist linked down below in my description box. So make sure to go over and tell them Tammy sent you and say hi. If you haven't visited these ladies' channels, you're missing out, guys. So make sure to go over and say hi. All right, let's get on with the next project. Now, I am in love with this green. Oh my gosh. This new color from Fusion Carriage House is beautiful. And I am taking this like pottery type vase. It's got a really nice texture on it. And I am painting it this beautiful green. Now, I had already spray painted a coat of black matte spray paint as the base for this vase, and it's been sitting in my craft room for months and months and months, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna paint this beautiful carriage house color. I distressed it and I think it turns out beautiful. I make a little tag for it, so you'll have to let me know what you think. All right, guys, on to the next project. Now I have this basket. I picked it up for $1 at a thrift store, and I am going to paint that beautiful carriage house green. I am so in love with this color. Oh my gosh. I think I'm going to paint everything this color. Honestly, it's so beautiful. All right, now I am using one of my not fancy brushes. I get these off of Amazon. It is linked down in my Amazon store. It is just like the expensive brushes. It has the rounded pointed tip so you can get into all those little nooks and crannies, and it's like $6. So if you're looking for a nice brush to paint with that cleans up well, you can get that in my Amazon store. Well, you can get the link anyway in my Amazon store. Now, I am just giving this a once over. It only takes 1 coat of paint, and it does a really nice job covering, this Fusion paint does. And I paint it from top to bottom. I leave the inside natural. All right, now I'm gonna go over it with that white silk white wax that I use from Vintage Design Paints. I'm not sure what it's called, honestly. I will leave it linked down below in my description box. But I've used it many times before, so if you have watched any of my other videos, I am trying to use up my old stuff because I have had this wax for years and years and years. This is a super, super soft wax. It's not a hard wax. I keep it stirred up so that way the pigment doesn't settle to the bottom. And I mean, it is super soft. So if you want a nice creamy silk wax, you can get that from Vintage Designs. All right, now I got this ribbon at the thrift store. Well, I call it ribbon. I'm not sure what it is, but it's got metal throughout. It's like metal banding, I think, for redoing furniture. And anyway, I picked up several rolls of it for $1, and I love it to use for ribbon. And I just cut some tails, and then I am just cutting like loops. I'm making a really easy bow here, guys. So if you are bow challenged, this is a really easy bow that you can make. Now, a lot of people like the tails longer. It's up to you. You can make short tails, you can make long tails. I made my tails out of the burlap over there, so I'm not really worried about long tails on these loops. Now you just make the loops, you stack them together, as many ribbons as you want. Now this is going to be a really big bow because I like big bows. And I am just layering it up, kind of making a pattern, kind of not. I make my check ribbon a little bit longer so those tails are a little bit longer. And then you can add raffia in here, you can add jute in here. I'm actually going to add some of that orange jute that I found at the thrift store. I got it for like 50 cents and it's like vintage, the old sticker's still on it. I hate to even use it, but I mean, what else am I going to do with it? So that is just an old leg that what I'm using for the stem is just an old leg that I cut off of a table. And I had already dark waxed it. I used the antiquing wax by Waverly, and I just dark waxed it and just glued it on top in the center. We're going to make it pretty plain. I wasn't going to use a really pretty spindle because what I'm going to do is cover up the top and make it really pretty, and you're not going to really see it that much anyway. I would have rather used a stick in the yard, but I couldn't find a thick enough stick, so there we go. All right, so now I'm just showing you I am layering up all the ribbon, and don't do this. This was a mistake. I pulled it as tight as I could right off the bat. Okay, you don't want to do that. You want to give yourself a little bit of leeway so that you can move your loops around and fluff them up. So I quickly decide, nope, that's not going to work. Cut that off. Get another cable tie and let's try it again. So I make it a little bit tight, but not too tight to where I can't move the ribbon around and fluff it up. So you just make your loops, move your ribbon, pull and fluff, pull and fluff one side or the other, and just like vary the sides. So if you pull left and right, pull right to left, you know what I mean. And then you just fluff it up. And then you find the center of the bottom. So like the white ribbon is in the center of all the loops, and that is going to be your bottom of your bow. And then once you get them all fluffed, you can pull that tight, or get them in the place that you want the loops. You can pull that cable tie tight, and then cut off the tail, continue to fluff. And then I'm gonna go back here in a minute and start dovetailing my ends. And you can either cut them off shorter, or you can dovetail the ends, or you can cut them at an angle, or you don't have to cut them at all. It's whatever you want to do. I like my ends dovetailed, so I go through and I dovetail all the little ends. I just think that makes it look more finished. Some are short and some are longer, and that's okay. And then I just check the placement, and then I glue it into place. And I also glued down the tails. So I glued down the tails first, and then I stuck the bow on top. Now I'm gonna add some greenery. Now this is just greenery from my stash that I have a bag full of greenery. I'm just trying to use up some of that stuff so I can break out my new stuff that I've had for, I don't know, a couple of years. I have so much greenery that I just, I'm not allowed to buy anymore. Until I use up what I got. So I am trying to do so. But this is gorgeous. I love how this turns out. And I just add little sprigs of different greenery here and there. They're very varying in color and texture. And I added those lamb's ear. I believe they were from Walmart, maybe. I'm not really sure. Well, they're probably from Walmart. Either that or Hobby Lobby. But I've had them in my stash. They're used, cut off of. So I just keep all that and use it when I can. Those 1 scissors are good for cutting through thick stuff, but they are not good for cutting ribbon. So then I just bunch up my little tails, and I just kind of see where more greenery needs to be added. Now this is just a sprig of, it looks like fern to me, and it's a different color. So I love adding those different colors. Oh, look at my Hershey bar sitting there staring at me. So then I added these solo wood flowers. I love them for fall. I think they just add that little something something and just elevate your projects. I didn't like the other 2 flowers there, and you can't put on 4. You got to put on 3 or 1. And then just when I thought I was done, nope, I'm gonna add some raffia. Because I was gonna add some Spanish moss, but I didn't want to make the mess. So I thought, instead of Spanish moss, we're gonna add some raffia. Which I love Spanish moss for fall projects, but I also love raffia, and it's less messy. So then I make a little bow, and then now I'm gonna make just a knot and cut the loops out and put it on the other side, so that way there's raffia on both sides so it doesn't look unbalanced. And I just kind of tuck that into the bow. And I just think that looks so cute. And there you go. Let me know what you think. Do you like this one? Do you not like this one? All right, on to the next one. Okay, so I've been cleaning my craft room, guys. I know I keep saying that every video, but I honestly have cleaned my craft room and I did my carpet. You'd be so proud of me. I cleaned my carpets, vacuumed, picked up stuff. Anyway, found these books. They were already had the covers off, and I thought, you know what? We're gonna make another book stack. And this turns out so beautiful. So beautiful. I just love it. I love using this ribbon. And I fold this in half so that it doesn't stick to the pages. And if it does stick to the pages, it doesn't stick that much. So I just try to stick the ribbon to the ribbon. So that way I can reuse the book stacks for different holidays. And I love this ribbon. Now this ribbon I got at Dollar General a few months ago. And I bought the cream color burlap type ribbon. I bought this truck ribbon, and I bought some flowery green ribbon to match the truck ribbon. I just thought, oh, a green truck. I love it. I love the color because it's kind of teal and green, and it goes really good with that carriage house paint from Fusion. Oh my gosh. So then I cut the edges off because I want that burlap to show underneath this. And then I frayed the edges, and then it wasn't enough, so I had to cut it down some more. So I just cut a little bit off of each side, got it as even as I could, and then I went back and frayed the edges again because I like that look. Then I put the ribbon in place, and I thought, okay, I got it centered. So I got the ribbon in place, and I just glue the ribbon to itself. I love that little rubber spatula from Dollar Tree. Now I'm going to add some buffalo check, and I'm just making an awareness bow. So I literally just cross it over on itself. Another easy bow, guys. And I'm using my smallest jute twine to tie that in a knot and keep the bow in place. And look how cute that looks. Now you could stop here, but I didn't. I didn't stop there, but I could have. I dovetailed my ends, and then I'm using this pick from Walmart. I have had these in my stash for, I don't know, a couple years now. I mean, seriously. I think my sister gave me a whole bunch in one of my sister hauls. I don't know. She was cleaning out her craft stuff. And I love these picks with the green pumpkins. Oh my gosh. So not only does that tie in with the greenery, and I cut the pick all apart and I just added little elements of it here and there, but it ties in with that ribbon from Dollar General. It is so stinking pretty. Oh my gosh. So I love all the variations in the green and the stems. And lamb's ear, I just add lamb's ear to everything because I just love it. Now, a few videos ago, I did a pumpkin DIY, and I used all those roses from Temu, and these are the sticks from the roses. And I said, you want to keep those so you can make tendrils, and we are going to make tendrils, and we're going to add them to this. So just when you thought I was done, I'm not done. But, I mean, doesn't it look gorgeous with those on there? I think so. I also added some to the basket pumpkin as well. Because I'm like, oh, I gotta add these to the basket. And then I'm like, how much more stuff are you gonna add to that basket? I don't think I could fit any more on top of there. Well, I could, but I'm not going to. But this book stack turns out so stinking cute. Oh my gosh, it is absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. All right, guys, do not forget to go over and visit my friends and their channel and the playlist. I will have linked down below in my description box. I want to thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this video and all my DIYs. And now let's get to the final reveal. I want to thank you so much for stopping by. And don't forget to let me know down in the comments which project was your favorite today. And I hope you enjoyed these fall and Halloween inspirations. Don't forget to go over and visit the playlist. I will have that link down below in my description box, as well as pinned in my comments. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I will see you in the next one.